Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to my latest bout of trying to pick up ace tankers in a bunch of machines that I've probably already played before, but rebought for the purpose. And hopefully we'll record these on the first try, or maybe the second and not the fifth. I've been having some problems lately. Anyway, we are starting off in the Panzer 38T. This is tier 3 German light tank. And we're here on Cliff, that's the name of the map. It disappeared for a moment. Now, the second two games I'm going to show you in this video are a little different in as much as they're not tanks I've rebought. It's a premium tank that I played a bit because I, well, hadn't played it much. And if you've got a premium tank, you might as well play it because you actually, you know, spent money on the damn thing. So it was one of those. But anyway, Panzer 38T, straight off the bat I immediately get tracked out in the open, which isn't optimal. And I'm kind of making a beeline for this central location. I get a little bit lucky there, as that shot just does not penetrate, and I actually pick up 250 assistance damage. And the T-29 gets a little bit deaded. Hello, Mr. T-28, how you doing? Not doing well, are you? Well, you're dead, so I guess not. So actually, that could have gone badly, but I get a little bit lucky there, and it ended up going alright in the end. So we're just going to push our way up this little incline here, and then we should be able to shoot all of the peeps over on the hill, which will be nice. And just trying to see who we can see without getting spotted ourselves. Oh, hello, Mr. T-46. Sorry, Panzer 38, my apologies, you're not a T-46. Ugh, stop dodging like a little ninja. That's better. And we bounce a shot from him. Hurrah. Isn't that nice? So, that's kill numero uno. I should mention, of course, this is a tier 4 match, by the way. So this is the worst matchmaking that you get in the Panzer 38T these days. And a rather incareless Type 95, trying to go for a tracking shot there, but no such joy. He's exposing himself terribly, and he's going to get shot by lots of people doing this. Although he does have quite a big gun. Oh, dearie me, we take quite a lot of damage there from him, which is a little problematic. But he does die for it. I am now a one-shot for anybody who so much as has a stiff breeze going on, to be fair. And our team are pretty much all down the 1 and 2 lines, which I do find a little concerning, but c'est la vie. M1542 and Panzer 3E over there. Put one into the Panzer and one into the M15, and we're actually over 600 damage done at this point, which for a tier 3 is a pretty good amount. Coming over this way to see if we can do something about that Panzer 3 or his little friends. There's one of his little friends. He is dead, although the Panzer 3E has put himself in a position where I can't shoot him, which is a bit sad, but hey, at least we're able to deal with one of his friends, and he actually dies, and I pick up a little more assistance damage, which is nice. M1542 over here. There's also a T70 over tangling with our D2, and we want to be careful here because we're a one-shot. Oh, hello. But if you're going to give me the side of your turret, you know, the front of your actual tank might have been difficult to penetrate. Side of your turret, not so much. Right, you've managed to kill the D2, which is annoying, but you actually get hetzered yourself, which I guess that works out fine. So there's only 4 of them left at this point. Su-85B just got executed. That means there are 3 of them left. Hurrah. And so what are we going to do about it? Push through here, through the bush, up into one of these bushes and see if we can spot some people, really. If we can find artillery or tank destroyers or whatnot, that would be nice. We can spot them or shoot them or whatever. Binos up, and nada. Nothing, not a sausage. Shimmy forwards a little bit. Still nothing. Oh, Vesp. Hello. Little artillery piece, how are you today? Let's see if we can give you a bad day. Second shot misses, but the third one successfully picks up the kill. And actually at tier 3, this little 47mm gun is none too shabby, if I'm honest. You can continue to use this gun at tier 4 on the Panzer 38 NA if you wish, or it gets a 5cm gun if you want something a little bigger. That's our 4th kill, by the way. And again, just trying to find either of these 2 tank destroyers, but if the 10 TP is going to find them, I don't mind being someone who shoots them. That is A-OK with me. Now, the Electo was last spotted in and amongst those houses just down on our left-hand side. Doesn't look like anybody else is up by the enemy cap. Hello, Mr. SU. Put 1 into him. Back off because I don't want to take a hit from the Electo or something. Actually missed that shot, which is irritating and unfortunate. And the Su-76 is getting worked over by somebody else, and I managed to execute the Electo. And that is the match. Nice and quick. Let's have a look at the results. So that was our ace tanker. I mean, you got that from the introduction to this video. Fire for effect, fighter, and bruiser. Nothing too spectacular there, but enough to get the job done. 949 damage done, 5 kills, 1000 base experience exactly, which is pretty good going in a tier 3 machine. Easily the most damage or experience on either team, which is pretty nice. 27 shots fired, 20 hits, 18 pens for that damage count, most of which was for relatively close range. 5 hits received, 2 pen, 3 didn't, 60 damage blocked by our armour, 5 vehicles spotted, 9 damage, 5 destroyed, 300 assistance damage. We were running a premium account at the time, so that was a 21,500 credit profit. Ta-da! Next match. The next 2 games in this video are going to be in the Sentinel AC4 Experimental. This is the Tier 6 Premium British Medium Tank. Now, this thing, defining features, basically 10 degrees of gun depression and a 17-pounder gun with a fully rotating turret at Tier 6. There's not really too far wrong to go with a 17-pounder gun on a fully rotating turret at Tier 6, especially with 10 degrees of gun depression, so that's what we're going to have here. The armour isn't too bad either. It's okay when top tier. When you're bottom tier, it's looking a little bit long in the tooth. But when top tier, you can get some bounces here or there. So, pushing forward here, we are going to be going down the 1 and 2 lines here on Abbey. Abbey is one of my least favourite maps in the game, but you know, sell Abbey. We've got it, so we'll play it. And like I said, we're just going to push down the 1 and 2 lines here. Now, if we have a look of all the tanks coming over here, I am the biggest. This is 357 matchmaking. There are only 3 tier 6s, and I am one of them. A little bit worried about potentially coming across that OI down here. That would be bad. We would not like that. But we shall see. Oh, AMX-12T is being a little bit brave. Okay, well, just before pushing too far, let's see if we can do something about this brave 12T. Oh, there we go, there's some damage. Now, people often compare this thing to the Sherman Firefly. This gets better gun depression, and I believe better fully aimed accuracy or dispersion. The Firefly gets better gun handling. So it's a little bit swings and roundabouts as to which you prefer. Personally, I prefer the Sentinel here. I'm sure there are people out there who prefer the Sherman Firefly, and that's absolutely fine. It's all a matter of preference. So, Cromwell Berlin, 25 TP, M3 Lee, and Panzer 4H are what we have seen over here. Oh, 14 TP as well. So we'd really like to prioritise that Cromwell, and he goofs. Okay, fine. We'll ignore you for now then, mate, and we'll kill your little friends. Because you've overturned yourself, and so you are essentially zero threat to us. That was a bit of a mistake, wasn't it? Actually loading a HE round here, so I can put a HE round through the base of his tank. Didn't quite kill him, unfortunately. I was hoping to save myself a shot, but there we go. Now, at this point, we've probably got the armour to shrug off that M3 Lee. But we're not going to play this too aggressively. Now, the enemy team could have pushed here, while I, in particular, was distracted dealing with those guys on the right-hand flank. But they decided not to, which I can understand, but it does mean I'm planning to kill them. Well, I was planning to kill them anyway, but it does mean I've got a decent chance to kill them. So Panzer 4 backs off. and we'll see what we can do about that 25 TP. There we go, one shot into him. Backy. Take a HE round from that Panzer 4H. We managed to track him. And just seeing if I can pick out a shot into the upper frontal plate. There we go. He is dead. That just leaves this 25 TP. He's dead too. And that's 5 kills farmed on this flank. The OI actually went to the middle of the map, which is an interesting decision, I guess, to be fair. It's not where I would have gone in his tank. In fact, actually, I've had bad games going to the Abbey in pretty much every tank under the sun I've tried to go to the Abbey in. So I wouldn't go there anyway, but I certainly wouldn't go there in an OI. Just going to speed this along a little bit, because whilst the Sentinel is not the slowest machine in the world, it's also far from the fastest. And yeah, watching it trundle around trying to get into a fight can be rather tedious. So we actually push through to the enemy base, and then we need to double back all the way to find the enemy Leopard. We promptly miss him, and the enemy OI. Come on, right, Leopard dies, pick up a little bit of assistance damage into the bargain. Now where is that OI? Can we make a horrible mess of him? OI's actually taken out our artillery piece. And there he is, and our friends reset the cap there, and we actually bounce on his flat side armour, because screw you, of course we do. And so shooting at the front of an OI can be a pretty frustrating business, so despite the fact that the 17 pounder has pretty good penetration, I do actually switch to APCR here, purely through the fact that I have been frustrated so many times bouncing on OIs at really weird angles. But there we go, we actually pick up the kill on that OI, and that is the game. Again, not a particularly long one here. Let's have a look at the post-game stats. That was enough for fire for effect and an ace tanker, of course, along with a top gun for the 6 kills and a high caliber medal. 2,396 damage done, 6 kills, 1,139 base experience, and despite the early death of that Cromwell, he actually managed the highest damage of anyone on his team by quite a considerable margin. That OI only managed to kill the artillery. That was his sole contribution to this game. 23 shots fired, 21 hits, 18 penetrations for that damage count. Most of the damage was done from relatively close range. 1 hit received, 1 penetration. Didn't see the armour do anything that match. 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 destroyed, 218 assistance damage, 2.11 kilometers travelled, and we made a 32-ish thousand credit profit in the end. Now I would say be a little cautious here. Because I can't remember if I had some of the APCR rounds for the 17 pounder already purchased or not. So I'm not sure if the ammunition resupply cost could arguably be a little higher, but there we go. It is what it is. That was the first of our Sentinel games. We've got one more coming up, and that one is a bit more of a challenge. Here is the last match of this video then, and as promised, we are back in the Sentinel AC4 Experimental. This is a tier 7 match, so middle of the road matchmaking for us, and we're here on Empire's Border? Yeah, Empire's Border, and this was one of the first games I played on Empire's Border, hence you may or may not have noticed toward the beginning a little comment from me saying, well, this is new. Though I didn't really know what I was doing on this map at this time. But if memory serves, this match ends up being quite a good one to watch. It's a bit of a close run affair. So I don't really know what I'm doing on this map, if we're gonna be honest. And I decide, well, everyone's going this way, so if you're gonna go somewhere, have company, I suppose. At the time of recording this video is quite old. This game, I should say, is quite old. I can't remember my exact thought process. But I was basically just exploring this map. This isn't the best tank to go map exploring in, because it's not that quick. And with that said, we're actually just going to speed this along a little bit until something interesting happens. So we're coming up here with this T-34S and the VK2801. I said this was a tier 7 match, but it is worth pointing out that most of the tanks on both teams are relatively squishy. The SU-100M1 has a little bit of frontal armour, to be fair, but aside from that, there isn't a huge amount of armour to go around.
Ooh, that was a nice shot into the T21, got a little bit lucky there. So, with that said, and the fact that we have pretty respectable penetration on this 17-pounder gun, standard rounds, has a pen of 171, it means that we shouldn't really have any problem doing damage. Now we've come over here to the middle of the map. This is an encounter game in case you hadn't noticed, and we're just trying to get a feel for this. I decided to push forward. Ooh, that T21 got wrecked by a KV2. The Sentinel AC4 doesn't really have a huge amount of armour. I mean, it has a little bit, but at tier 6 it's not something you can really rely on to achieve anything. So, yeah. I mean, when you're top tier you can get a bounce or two here or there, which I believe I mentioned in the previous game, but I'm not expecting to bounce much in this match. Anyway, all that being said and done, there's a rather incautious M4 Sherman, and oh, he changes course, and apparently I'm aiming too far ahead of him. Hello, Mr. KV2. There we go. 162 damage into him. KV85? Nope. Nope. No hit there. I'm not taking ages to aim because KV85, well, both of those guns are quite nasty. If he has the big gun, that's 390 alpha. If he has a small gun, that's 250 alpha. The Sherman, I mean, he can definitely hurt me regardless of what gun he's using, but if he has the howitzer, then that could be potentially quite a lot of pain. And the KV2 is a KV2. Bouncing on that KV85, which is slightly irritating. So I fired a few shots. I know I spent some time saying, oh, we shouldn't have trouble penetrating people, and then we have trouble penetrating someone. Scoreline, by the way, in case you weren't paying attention, is 2-6. Okay, 3-6. So, not feeling amazingly good about this, but there's that 171 penetration straight through the turret on the KV85, and one more shot should finish this chap off if I've got the shot. Can we make it work? Yes, we can. And we pick up our first kill, bringing the scoreline to 4-6. Shot there that ends up taking the track out on that T-34-85, and he gets finished off. Griller manages to damage my track and stun me, but doesn't actually do any proper hit point damage, so can be thankful for that. Screw you, artillery. Now the friendly KV2 is asking for some help against the enemy KV2, but I ain't going down there without knowing what's in the background. That just seems like a poor plan, and if you look at the minimap, all our casualties were basically in the northwest. You know, that side of the map we all originally conga-lined down. Yeah, the enemies killed them all. Looks like the SU-100M1 has essentially farmed our team, and the KV2 on our team has essentially farmed their team on the other flank. So, yeah. We're going to come around here and try and use our gun depression to hurt these guys. Panzer IV appears to be packing the howitzer. Well, he's dead now, and we managed to bounce a shot from the T-34. Shielded! Pew! Oh, speaking of that SU-100M1, there he is. I have found him, guys. I have found him. Raid boss detected. Meanwhile, the Cromwell and the KV-1 have gone right around the flank, and our artillery is scuttling. Can't really say I blame them too much. Hello, Mr. T-34. How are you today? You might have semi-respectable armour for a Tier 5 medium, but you ain't gonna hold up to a 17-pounder, are you, my friend? So, we know where this SU-100M1 is, and if we can get around him, and we're going to need to, otherwise we're going to get a rectal Cromwell, we can do some damage. And as it is, we're able to pick up the kill on the fella. And that becomes kill number 4. Now it's the LTG going for our KV2, and so we really need to give the KV2 a hand here. Unfortunately, he dies. Well, that's a bit of a shame, and I'm now facing this LTG kind of on my lonesome, which is suboptimal, and that shot misses, which is even more suboptimal. So it's now 2 plays 4. Myself and our M12 artillery playing off against their LTG, KV-1 and 2 artillery pieces. The M12 shuts down the KV-1 with a nice bit of shotgunning to the face, and I'm going to try and see if we can do something about this LTG, but he is way, way faster than I am, and I really don't want to get artilleried. So I'm going to have to work with this M12 to take care of this LTG, otherwise he's got my number because he's, well, a tier higher, so he's got a decent gun, he's certainly more mobile than I am, and neither of us really have much in the way of armour. Lovely shot there from the artillery. hit, take a big whack of his health off, and I'm able to finish him off. And that just leaves the 2 enemy artillery. Between us, I'd like to point out, we've got 9 kills. Throw that KV-2 in, and between us, we have 12, which is quite a lot. Now, coming around this flank, looking for them's artilleries. Just going to speed this along a little bit. S51 was last spotted over at about G0. M41 HMC, not quite sure where he is, probably over by the enemy spawn, let's be honest. It's artillery. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by my cat in the background being dried. There's the S51. He manages to hit me, but yeah. HE round to the face will offend. Loading HE just to try and make sure we pick up the kills on this guy. Now, in case you hadn't noticed, I said earlier on this is an encounter game. I was wrong. It's not an encounter game, of course, is it? Duh. It's an assault game. Oh dear. And the enemies need to come and take us down. We form a platoon with the KV-2, by the way. That's 9 kills between us. If we could have actually formed a platoon with the M12, that would have been a crucial contribution. I haven't spotted this at the time yet, though. I'm a bit stupid. I assume the KV-2 is thinking that, and so he sent an invitation to the M12 and just isn't getting much of a response. But anyway, the HE on this gun is not amazing. 190 alpha, 38 pen, but 38 pen should be enough for your typical artillery. And, well, I reckon I've got a better chance of killing them with the HE. And as it was, it made sure I could finish off that S51. So, we're going over here. Gonna try and flush this M41 HMC out. Because it's an assault game, we're on the defending team, they're on the attacking team. Well, I mean, basically the enemy team is not going to win this. The question is, can they? Well, they can't even force a draw, let's be honest. They don't have the time to cap, and he's not going to manage to kill the 2 of us in 40 seconds. So, the real question is, can we find this guy, and can we kill him? Place your bets. I'm just speeding this along a little bit because, yeah. Ooh, enemy artillery has a punt, but no dice. We do actually not manage to kill the M41, but at least we've managed to pick up a win for that one. So let's have a look at the post-game stats. So, that ended up being enough for Ace Tanker, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Lavashlio's medal for murdering tanks a higher tier than me, as I nailed all 3 of those top tier enemy tanks, and a top gun for those 6 kills. 2,034 damage done, 6 kills, or 1,249 base experience. And shout out should also go to Stefan in the KV-2 and Ares 12 in the M12. They also contributed massively, and between us we racked up 13 kills. In fact, actually, now that I look at it, of course, I was thinking 13 kills plus 1 from the T-71, that's 14. Where's the other kill? Of course, the M41 survived, didn't they? Commiserations to the enemy Su-100M1, just shy of 2k damage and 4 kills. Not quite enough for a win there, though. And to be fair, the enemy S-51, 1,500 damage in an artillery piece, which is not too bad going. 22 shots fired, 18 hits, 16 pens for that damage count, 4 hits received, 3 penned, 1 did not. Our armour did do a little bit of something for 110 damage blocked by our armour. 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 6 destroyed, 652 assistance damage, and about 3.2 kilometres travelled for a match that was 10 minutes bang on the nose because assault game and the timer ran out. 37,500 credits, take away some costs, still made over 31,000 credits with a standard account. There would have been over 50,000 credits with a premium account, couple of bonds for those awards, and a reasonable amount of experience. So, there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that trio of games there, picking up some ace tankers. If you did, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel. And as ever, I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.